everyone. Welcome back to the Whatnauts Pilots Club. My name is Kyle Springer, and I am joined, as always, by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, how are you? How's your week been so far?
Hectic. How about yourself?
Not the greatest, but that's okay.
Oh, oof.
If you guys did not know, this is a podcast all about the first episodes of television shows and the many reasons why they may or may not be worth a watch. We release these first and foremost over on our Patreon, patreon.com/the Whatnauts. You can get access to these at the $3 tier, where they will remain exclusive for about 2 years before they hit the free feeds. So if you are a Patreon supporter of ours, thank you. We appreciate it a lot. And if you are checking this out a bit down the road on the free feeds, thank you as well. Just know that there is plenty more of this show for you to check out over on our Patreon. So there you go. This episode, we are here to talk about medium, just mid, right?
We're here to talk about the CBS procedural 5 out of 10.
Right, yeah. Now, I was not familiar with this show because I was trying to find something kind of spooky for Halloween for October here, and I didn't really come up with anything in just like a brief cursory search. I really didn't try all that hard to figure it out. But you had some like on the top of your head. You were like, I'm ready to go. So what is medium?
It's about a medium. I'd never seen it before. I just remember Patricia Arquette's ever-present face looking at me from mid-2000s TV guides.
Right. Yeah. This is strange because when I looked it up, when you mentioned it last month, I was like, oh, this came out like 20 days before Numbers did, like exact same era. I don't know this at all, period. Did not know this was a thing, didn't know it existed. I feel like it appeals more to me now that I am a little bit more familiar with Patricia Arquette. I definitely was not back when this show was on the air. So this was an interesting one. It was fun to dive into one that I was just like, I have no idea what this is. Medium. Apparently this ran for 7 seasons. And yeah, like you said, Patricia Arquette plays a medium in our Year of the Detective. This is an interesting one with supernatural powers here. And she has an official title, which is also something you pointed out. Is it's not like,
yes,
oh, she just happens to be there or is like the sister of the actual detective that then you know rides along. No,
yeah,
she's
is constantly around but doesn't have a badge or any credentials. And I'm like, should she be here? She is officially a consultant by the end of the pilot episode, which I appreciated.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing that happened in this is she's training to become a lawyer, if I remember that correctly, and she's pretty decent at it, but isn't the best, right? She's working hard, but she's just kind of medium, right? But she's always had this gift, this psychic gift, where she can kind of figure out what happened. She gets these dreams. She sees people that aren't really there, and they feed her information. She can speak to the dead, right? And so because of that, she's like giving theories on how this evidence can, like, how the crime actually worked. And all the actual detectives are like, you can't just say things like that. Like, we don't know if that's how we have to do some police work here. And then, yeah, they do the work. And it was like, that's exactly what she said. That's odd. But yeah, by the end, she's like, hey, I'm not a good lawyer. I'm not going to be a lawyer, but I want you to hire me as something else instead. What if I'm this like psychic consultant for the DA's office here? And yeah, I thought this was a decent pilot. What did you think?
It starts out very strangely with this white text on a black background that says, "There really is an Allison." Really? Which is what her name is. Not, "This is based on a true story," which I believe it abstractly is, but. And that woman's name is Allison. Like, Patricia Arquette just plays a woman with the name of the real woman. So I guess that's what they mean, but I've never seen it phrased that way.
Right, yeah. Based on a true story. Based on true events. There really is an Allison.
Right. The movie doesn't start. There really is a Richard Jewell. Richard is real.
Oh, man.
I like the opening, though. The cold opening where she's interrogating a criminal and it then turns really creepy and personal. And then she wakes up from a nightmare. And then at the foot of her bed is a bunch of other dead people. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Opening credits are
opening.
Yeah, I found this whole thing pretty skilled. I think it's one of the stronger. I'm not so interested in coming back to this show, but in terms of a pilot delivering what a pilot needs to deliver,
yes,
this is one of the more competent ones we've covered on this program.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's got
some weird stylistic things to it, like that opening. And when she goes to Texas, and it's like Texas is another realm, and there's like 25 Texas Rangers all neatly in a line.
That whole scene is weird. Of just like, why did they decide to shoot it like this?
I know.
It's so strange. So we'll get back to that scene because I have more to say on that. But yeah, I think just in the I guess 3 years of us doing this show, this Pilots Club, I would say this maybe lines up the most with like what my platonic ideal of a pilot is. Just like when I just think of like the abstract concept of what is a TV pilot, I feel like this kind of does it. It gives us like the actual case, right? But it gives you the characters, who they are, who the plot, like what the plot is, and it sets them up in a way that is both interesting and like I can see what the story engine is going forward here. I'm clear on the premise. Like there's nothing like that's been left out of like, oh, but now they're switching actors or right, they're changing something. It felt just like, yeah, this was both a proof of concept and like a great launch point for the series. I don't know, but yeah, she's interrogating this guy and he's confessing to killing his wife, but then he starts speaking to her as if she is his wife and then like touches her hand in a weirdly like oddly sexual way, and you're starting to be like, okay, what is happening here? What is going on? And that's when she wakes up, and then the real nightmare begins when all the credits are in Papyrus. The font.
Which even, this is from 2005, even then Papyrus feels a little old.
It's so funny, which like I can get like if they didn't have the money to buy a special font or something like that, just use something that comes for free on their interns editing software where that they're like, oh, hey, can you go put the credits on this? And credit to whoever did come up with like a creative decision on why they should use Papyrus. Because, like, I mean, you know, ancient Egyptians and, like, the gods and the afterlife.
Old.
And she can speak to the dead.
She can see old stuff.
Right, yeah. It's like, it fits. It fits. But I was like, oh, man, Papyrus. There you go. Good choice.
Do you think there has ever been a TV show whose opening credits were in Comic Sans?
I'm sure. I'm sure there has to be.
Yes, I think it must exist, but I can't quite picture it in my head. Someday we'll stumble across it.
It's some like daytime television procedural show like this named The Designer. It's just in Comic Sans. God, yeah. But yeah, I thought that was a great way to open it. I liked her little home life, her and her husband.
Yeah,
there. I thought that
they
was
seem
sweet.
like a good couple.
Yeah, he was real supportive. His haircut looked like it was straight out of the 80s, though.
It's very 2005. It's very Goblet of Fire. I had misremembered Rhys Ifans being the husband in this show, and I guess the guy doesn't not look like Rhys Ifans. I swear he's the husband in one of these. In one of these mid to late 2000s female-led crime procedural shows that air for 3 solid hours on TNT and your mom watches them while she folds laundry. In one of those, Rhys Ifans is the husband.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, he in my mind, he was kind of just a non-character, but a good non-character in the way that, like, oh, I like him. I'm sure we'll get more of him down the road. Right. But yeah, he's there to support her. But
I like the entry point that the show is at. It seems like she says she's like just around 30. They've got 3 small children. She's trying to get into law school. You can imagine that these are maybe like old college sweethearts that like got pregnant early and have spent their entire 20s being parents. And they're like, we have to start our careers now or we're never getting them started.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what she's been trying to do. And she's just simply too psychic to make it work.
I'm too psychic for my shirt. Melissa, we have yet to name who created this show, and I always like to try and remember to name that stuff. I know sometimes I don't, but this is a series that was created by Glenn Gordon Caron. Melissa, do you know who else or what else they created that we have covered on one of our podcasts?
This name sounded familiar to me, and I just did the hover over on Wikipedia, so I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Moonlighting.
I did love Moonlighting.
Yeah, we covered, the first 2 seasons, right, of Moonlighting over on one of our other podcasts, The Review Show.
The thing about Moonlighting is that it was really bananas half the time. It was truly 50-50. This is a crime procedural with unresolved sexual tension between the 2 leads, and it's a romantic drama, and half cuckoo bananas. And I'm curious if Medium will ever achieve that same tonal equilibrium.
I don't know about that, but I did not know that even just until like us recording this here, and I was like, who is the show created by? But like there was a competency with Moonlighting, even when they do when they do all the different bits, when they want to do a crime show. Yeah, they can make a really great crime show. When they want to do the like rom-com kind of stuff over here, it was really good, right? So like there's this incredible sense of competency that this creator already has. And then I think, like, even if I had never seen the show, had never heard of it, it might not, necessarily stand this same test of time that Moonlighting gets the credit for. It really did feel like there was a competency in the way this pilot was made, that now it's like, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, there's a good pedigree here.
And I noticed it was created, written by, and directed by all the same person while it was writing it. I hadn't yet remembered what I knew the name of that person from. But fairly often, TV pilots would get a ringer in to direct. Like, they would get a bigger name in to direct the pilot episode, be a little flashier, and maybe that person is an EP for a season or two. You know, you get the J.J. Abrams treatment on Fringe
this
or
almost
what have you.
Got that. One of the production companies is Kelsey Grammer's production company.
But he's not a director.
Right. That's why I was like, they almost like they have his name up on here like, hey, Kelsey Grammer, his production company.
I think
You've heard of him.
I think there's an episode where he is the villain. I don't know if it's this show. I
wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
Again, it might be The Closer or Ghost Whisperer or another one of these.
Right, yeah.
Sometimes they're supernatural, sometimes they're not, but otherwise it all seems, from my outsider perspective, to be the same genre of thing.
Sure, yeah.
Detective show for mom.
So she starts displaying her psychic powers. She's always had them for a long time, but then she starts really kind of leaning into them to help solve a crime. And then she picks up another case. The Texas Rangers call her and is like, "Hey, we have this case. We'll take a shot on you, this so-called psychic detective, right?
We're flying you in from Arizona to Texas."
This whole sequence is kind of strange. They get her on an airplane, and the plane lands, and she's on like a private jet to Texas.
Not a nice one. It is like a small private plane that I've seen Mulder and Scully take that plane when they have to go to some X-file in the middle of the country somewhere.
Police use only or something like that, right? And so she's like the stairs from the plane has come down, and she like gets out, and there's just this like line of like 25 Texas Rangers, all in their like black Suburbans. They just standing there, and there's one that's like standing a little bit further up, but they are still all like 100 feet away from the plane.
Yes, they don't approach her.
And she stays there at the top of the steps of the plane, and they have this conversation of this like just incredible distance between them. Like it almost made me feel like she was a vampire. And they hadn't invited her into Texas yet. Yeah.
They're all in a line, and the lights of the Suburbans are blinking, and it's not clear to me why. They're not consistent enough to be like your hazard lights. It's sort of a weird, irregular blinking going on in the background. Don't know what that was about.
And so they kind of do this like, okay, well, let's test your psychic abilities, because like we took this chance on you, but we don't really think you're psychic. Like that, maybe you're just a good detective, right? It's just the funniest thing to watch all 25 of these guys get in their cars, and then just as a squad, every single one of them has to be there. They almost drive together.
I don't know why.
Dumb.
The guy she's with, his name is an existing word. His name is like block or blow or something else that like is a verb. But her and that, like, they can't just do this alone, I guess, or him and a driver and a deputy. No, this is not a single car mission. We must send 12 Suburbans around rural Texas to test one woman's psychic ability.
So dumb. It like I've been in situations oddly similar to this where like you need to go talk to someone or something, and like there's like a whole group that tries to rattle up there. I'm just like, no, like you don't need 25 people to go talk to one person to ask them a question like that. Just send like the two that need to go. That's it. Like, you can chauffeur her around just one-on-one. You don't need to... Like, he's a Texas Ranger. Yeah, what is she going to do?
This is expensive. You know, looking at the coordination of all of those cars on all those roads.
Of all the cases they could be working on that day.
No, with not expensive for the fictional police department. expensive for the production of this pilot. And a pilot often has a higher production value. But I'm like, why would you spend it on this? I think it's my favorite part of the episode. It's so strange.
Yeah.
But I don't get what all of it is there for.
Melissa, what if there actually is only one Texas Ranger there? And they're all the ghosts of past Texas Rangers supporting him.
Oh my God.
Being like, that's our guy!
And the cars are ghosts too?
They're ghost
Those are the
cars.
ghosts.
Yeah. A whole squad of Texas Ghost Rangers.
Maybe that was what they I don't know. I don't know what they intended here.
I mean,
just it feels like they go to Texas and they're like, Texas is a different world, which from the one time I was there, you lived in Texas for a little bit. It seems like it is. When you cross state lines into Texas, buckle up. It's intense here.
Yeah.
Just in a general abstract way. And maybe that's what they're trying to get across, that this guy's like, get a load of Texas over here.
Right. Yeah.
Not like normal, placid Arizona.
Right. Or who knows? I don't know how budgets work on television shows or stuff like that, or if they have a similar thing that I've always heard like corporate offices sometimes have to deal with, of like, hey, we got granted a certain budget and it's a little bit higher this year, and so now we have all this extra.
To use it all.
Right, yeah, we have to use it all, or they're not going to give us like the same amount of money for the rest of the episodes down the road.
Maybe.
So we need to like let's get 20 black Suburbans here.
Maybe the show was underwritten by like stunt driver training. Like if you include a sequence where our stunt drivers can train, we'll contribute to 10% of your budget or whatever.
Who knows, something.
With them just driving in
yeah.
a neat, orderly line through some Texas hills.
God, so funny.
Margot Martindale is in this.
Who is Margot Martindale? What do I know them from?
We just saw her. She's been in The Americans. Kyle, we've been looking at Margot Martindale for the last month.
Yeah. No, I know who that is. Yeah, she was in this, and I was like, oh, it's her. I've seen her in like 10 shows in the past year.
Yep.
She just happens to be in all the things that I'm watching. Yeah, she's fantastic. I like her in this too, where she is like, she knows that Patricia Arquette's character has psychic powers and can just tell. It's like from one medium to another, like, you got that look, right? I just know you should use it. Go help.
And
people.
She's like, I'm wise. Come to me when you're ready. I have answers. Which is what you get Margot Martindale in there to do. I have no idea what Margot Martindale must have done when she was younger, because I only know her as this elder stateswoman.
Yeah.
Did she carry this energy even when she was like 25? I don't know.
Not sure. You know who I like, not having seen the rest of this show, you know what I hope she kind of turns into? Remember the character in Fringe that worked at the bowling alley?
Yes.
That guy, I love him. One of my favorite TV characters of all time. I think he's also a fantastic actor. The guy that played him, I don't remember his name. I always love way I didn't see him in stuff.
Yes.
But like that kind of character where she is her own, like, hey, I do like psychic palm readings and tarot cards and stuff like that. And then every so often she just like goes to like after work to like have a beer with her new psychic friend to like kind of discuss cases, but not really, but like give some sage old advice too, right?
Kevin Corrigan. Do you remember the sitcom Grounded for Life?
I remember it by name. I never saw it.
It was a sitcom about just a rowdy little family. It was like these parents who like got together and had a baby when they were 16, And now that baby is 16 years old.
Uh-huh.
And they're trying to parent this rowdy teenage girl, but they're like, we still feel like we're kids ourselves. And they've got two other, like, just ruckus raising younger boys in the household as well.
Mhm.
But Kevin Corrigan played the, like, slick brother with a cocktail in his hand. Loved him. Early
Great.
childhood crush. The uncle from Grounded for life.
Good stuff. But yeah, she ends up kind of solving this case. I think she connects with the sister that has passed away, and gets some information based on that, but then is able to kind of coerce some other information out of one of the guy's cellmates. Like, they can only hold the actual culprit for like not much longer, it seems like, and she's able to like call a bluff on something in an interesting way to actually solve the case and make it all work and happen. And shortly after that, she goes to her boss, who she's like interning for at the DA, and is like, "Hey, I am not going to make it as a lawyer here. My talents are elsewhere, and I'm actually uniquely talented in this one thing. So I want you to hire me as your psychic consultant." And he's like, "All right, sweet. You're
I'll
hired."
take it.
Yeah.
Not much of a hill to climb in this pilot.
Not really. I mean, she proved her worth with these like 2 quick cases that she solved. So good stuff. Good stuff with that. I enjoyed this. I liked it. But yeah, I kind of feel the same as you mentioned. I'm just like, I don't necessarily feel a strong draw to go back.
Right. If I'm in a hotel and I'm channel surfing and a rerun of this is on like Lifetime television for women, I'll tune in for some Medium, but I don't think I will ever click on this again on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
But seems I was impressed for what it is, though.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, this actually seems a little bit better put together than I would have thought.
Yeah, but that's like my feelings on not wanting to go back is also just kind of how I feel about most of this same kind of ilk of like, here's this like daytime, maybe late night television when it's like, oh, you can't sleep and you just need something on, right? Like those kind of television shows, those kind of procedurals or sitcoms and stuff like that. Which is just like, all right, if it's on, I'll watch that episode, but I don't need to watch every single one, right? So that's what I thought of Medium. It was good. It's fun.
Good.
Fun indeed. Melissa, we've kind of already said what we are going to be doing this next month for November.
We did?
We did. I mentioned it to you at the end of last episode.
Oh, I don't remember.
Well,
I look forward to being surprised again.
So my whole pitch was it feels like in the year of the detective, we have been avoiding Sherlock Holmes. Because we've covered the entirety of the Sherlock television series on one of our other podcasts, but I still wanted to do some kind of Sherlock related show. So I picked Elementary.
Yep. This
is one that also kind of came out not too long after the BBC one got popular.
Yep.
And I think because of that, I was still high on the success of the BBC one, that I was like, this other show, who needs it? That I never watched it. I never checked it out. And that's kind of it. That's all I know besides the like gender swapped Sherlock and Watson, right?
Just Watson. Sherlock.
Right? No.
Sherlock is standard, and they're like, "What if John Watson was played by Lucy Liu?" That's the major change.
Yeah.
I remember starting to watch this show, and I got a couple episodes in, and just got bummed out by all of the And now we must talk to the family of the victim. There was just too much of that. And I'm like, what I like about Sherlock is that he mostly has no feelings and it's all puzzles.
He's an asshole to the families. Yeah.
Right.
God, yeah, I think the thing that really made this stand out was like, oh, we have Lucy Liu starring as Watson here. That was the thing that I knew about this show. From what I understand, it was actually pretty well liked. People did like it when it was on. But I know nothing about this one. So Elementary, which I don't remember off the top of my head where this is streaming. Elementary show.
Kyle, when we convene next month to talk about Elementary, please allow me a 5-minute sidebar to tell you about Eli Stone. I'll explain next month.
Stone. Okay. Interesting. A mystery of our own. The mystery of the stone. Elementary, it looks like it's potentially on Hulu. But the little side thing also says CBS, so I'm wondering if you can get this on like Paramount Plus or something.
Perhaps. I'll check my parents'
sure.
DVR.
Right, it still might be on there.
Right, they still have the pilot episode of Elementary, and it's like playing on standard def on not on MeTV, but something that's like a step above MeTV.
True TV.
That is just just a standard def dumping ground, and my parents will record it and watch it, and I'm like, this looks terrible on your high def TV, and they're like, I don't know, I think it's fine.
I had to remind my parents that the TV that I helped them buy is actually 4K. They did not know that they could watch stuff in 4K on their television.
You know me, your son, 1K. Get ready.
All right. Well, let's wrap things up right there. We hope you enjoyed this one. Once again, if you want to support what we do, patreon.com/the Whatnauts is where you can do that. If you are already a Patreon supporter, thank you so much. We appreciate you tons. It means a lot. And yeah, Melissa, where can people get in contact with you? Where can they send their spooky medium stories to?
Send me your stories, small, medium, or large, to your host, Melissa, at gmail.com.
There you go. And if you guys want to follow me, I am at Kyle Springer. If you want to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, there's plenty more videos right over there on that side of the screen. That would help us out a bunch. And this has been number 45 of the Whatnauts Pilots Club. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.